So Luke, most of you watching this right now and most fucking people on earth, you're living a complete lie. The reason I'm saying this is because you don't know who you are, and this is causing a whole load of issues in your life, including who you hang out with, including what you do, including wasting your fucking time, because you're not sure and grounded in who you are as a person. You're not sure what you want, not sure what you fucking stand for. You're not sure what to believe even, because you're being bombarded with all different belief systems and frames of mind on social media and whatnot, and ultimately you're completely ungrounded and just a leaf in the wind, as you can see here right behind me. This is a very fucking common problem nowadays in society because social media is just bombarding you, as I said, with different ideologies. That is constantly causing you to shift in different ideas and in different frames of mind and in who you think you should be. And the whole answer to this kind of problem is actually realizing you don't have to be anyone, and to let go of the societal standards that you feel that are pulling you in different directions. Because I can tell you, I've seen a lot of people come and go in obviously my own social life network, as well as my business, my different companies, business owners, very successful ones, less successful ones, whatever. And a very common thing is just that what holds people back from growing in their life is actually not being in line with their values, with their principles, with their beliefs, with who they think they are. And a big component to this happening is really people that are growing up without a father, for example. The reason I'm saying all of this is not to shit on any of you guys, by the way. It's more so to enlighten you with these ideas so that you might be able to make some progress yourself, because I myself grew up without a father, or rather with about 6 different ones. I was out of the house very young. I had to fend for myself a lot. Not that I grew up that poor or whatever. Actually, my mom was quite successful. I grew up without a lot of strong role models, and I had to really develop my own sense of self, so to say, where a lot of people, if you have a strong father figure, you really are brought up with that really grounded identity of who you are, what you stand for. And if you don't, you're gonna have to create and find a way to create that yourself. Now, what happens to a lot of young guys is like, and even older men to be fair, is they kind of get this. They grow up and then they have different role models on social media and whatnot, and they kind of go into their frame of mind. They kind of adopt their belief system, adopt their ways, adopt their philosophies, etc. And then someone else pops up who might be appearing to have more success externally, which are the things that they would want. And then they go into that frame of mind and they continually switching different personalities, different frames, etc. And this is honestly a recipe for fucking disaster, because you cannot build on something that completely fluctuates all the time. Like this house that I'm in right now, we're actually in the Hollywood Hills, and a lot of these places, if I can actually show you, why the fuck not, are very, very high, and they need a very good foundation, as you can see, right? They need a very good foundation out here to actually be able to sustain. And the problem is with a lot of these people nowadays, including myself back in the days, is that you don't have that solid foundation, and that is causing you to look externally for that confirmation of you're doing the right thing, of you're being the right person. The advantage of it is that you get a lot more wisdom, you get a lot more perspective, because you might be entering different realities all the time, but you're getting enrolled in other people's world when you meet someone that's a very strong role model and has a lot of certainty. And you want to get to a place ultimately where you really don't give a fuck who says what, who has achieved what by being what, and just be grounded in who you think you are and what you believe and what you stand for. And if you can stay in that place, then you'll actually be able to build on top of that. And then you'll actually be able to attract the people that you want in your life as well. And then you'll actually be able to keep being aligned with what you're doing, with the business you're building, with the success you want in your life. That is really the foundation of it all. Building your own self-concept, who you think you are, and staying congruent and grounded in that perspective and in that identity. If you do that, and if you manage to stay in that, you're going to be able to obviously grow through that. It's not like you're going to be static. You're going to be able to keep your house afloat. You're not going to be swaying with the wind and all these different influences. One other thing on a practical level that you can really do is honestly get the fuck off social media. Like, why are you still on there? I've noticed it myself, where even me, I usually have 2 phones, and then recently, I broke one, and then I was on my actual phone a lot, and then I noticed myself getting on Instagram a lot. It's just something that happens automatically, right? Your brain goes there automatically, and I would usually have 2 phones to kind of separate them. You get on social media more, and it just makes you less grounded. It's just what it does. These platforms are built on that. The whole consumer culture, the whole society is built on you trying to get that certainty, trying to get that, feeling of I'm good enough enough, etc. from something external. Trying to buy the new fucking iPhone because otherwise you're not good enough, or trying to look a certain way or whatever, right? And everybody's been a victim of this. Don't let your ego now say like, oh no, that's not me, whatever. That's not gonna help you. Your ego is not your friend, guys. Your ego can be used in certain scenarios for the better, absolutely. However, ultimately your ego is gonna stop you from making progress because it doesn't wanna admit or it doesn't wanna see that it can grow. So I could recommend you really dig into this and really take some time for yourself and stop having all these external influences come at you for a day, 2 days, a week, whatever, and get clear on who you are. Get clear on what you want in your life. Get clear on what you value. Get clear on what kind of companions you want in your life, what kind of friendships, what kind of things you want in your life, what kind of dynamics, what kind of women, what kind of social success, what kind of money, right? What kind of business, what kind of impact you want to leave, what you want people to remember you for, what you stand for. If you have this super fucking clear, that'll get you so much more external results than looking at people with a lot of external results and switching between these different role models and personalities yourself. You have to stay grounded in who you are. That'll get you everything you want. You gotta understand this. People who you see succeeding at a high level and think like, oh, now I should be like this. The reason that they're so successful mostly is their certainty in what they believe, not necessarily the beliefs that they have. If two people meet, say my favorite color is black, say this other person's favorite color is blue, and he thinks it's very shitty or, you know, very low level to be wearing all black, and I think it's very gay to be wearing all blue. It's not necessarily the fucking color that really matters. It's more my certainty versus his certainty or her certainty. If I'm so certain that blue is for 4-year-olds and black is what you should be wearing, he's gonna or she is gonna feel weird. If it's the other way around, I'm gonna feel weird about the black. It's not necessarily about black or blue. It's more about the certainty of who, and that was smooth. So anyways, try to dig into that, man. Try to get clear on that. I know that once you get that certainty in yourself, in who you are, in your belief system, in your principles, in your values, in how you want your life to look like, all of these things, you're gonna have much more certainty speaking to any person, going into any business opportunity, making any damn decision, because you're clear on yourself, your ideal life, etc. And now you're gonna be able to filter any decision through your values. You're not gonna operate on an emotional whim as much because you're clear on those values. And from there on, every decision you make is gonna be aligned with where you wanna go. You're not gonna be wishy-washy, zigzagging around and going in circles. You're just gonna go from A to B in a straight line. And when you do that, my friend, you're gonna achieve. So good luck. I hope that helped. Subscribe if you want more. Leave a comment, and I see you in the next one.